Alright guys, we're back with another video. Today's topic is how to increase your bench press. My last video was talking about how to gain mass, and that video actually did really well. I think it hit the algorithm, got a lot of new subscribers. People were really positive on that. They seem to like it a lot, so I think I'm gonna just keep going, keep producing content, just kind of try to give value to people. I think that's what's gonna do well, and I think a lot of people, the reason it did well is because, you know, a lot of people want to gain mass, a lot of people want to be bigger. That's my goal as well. You know, I want to be big and strong. You know, I want to walk in a room and be the biggest, strongest person there. I think that's the goal for a lot of people, so I think I can help a lot of people achieve that. You know, like I said, that is my goal. That's the entire goal with my lifting, with my training and my diet. But yeah, how to increase your bench press. Now, I would say bench press is the best chest exercise. Like, a lot of people are going to argue with that. A lot of people say it's not optimal for muscle growth, but there's no exercise that packs on like dense muscle, just hard, dense muscle. Because you have to lift heavy on the bench press, and lifting heavy is what produces that dense muscle. Like, there's a difference. You could kind of tell if someone's strictly hypertrophy, they have no density in their muscle. You could just tell. It just looks different. So I think everybody should bench press. It's a very good exercise. It's fun. It's motivating. Getting stronger is a huge motivation. Breaking through those plateaus, hitting those PRs, it's a great motivation. So I think everyone should bench press. It's a great exercise. I'd say it's 90% of my chest growth is from bench press, and I'd say my chest is probably one of my best attributes. I'd say my back or my traps might be my best attribute, but my chest definitely stands out. But yeah, how to increase your bench press. It's gonna be different for a lot of people. Everybody's in a different situation. Everyone's at a different point in their lifting, but there's a lot of topics to go over. I'm gonna kind of try to keep it concise, but let's see. The first thing you need is your form. Your form needs to be on point, because to increase your bench press, you have to lift heavy. You need to be in the lower rep range. You know, you can't be hitting 12 reps to increase your bench press. You need to be like 6 or lower, I'd say. 6 reps or lower. So you need good form, because if you're lifting that heavy with bad form, you're gonna hurt yourself. It's not gonna be good. You're not gonna be lifting for a while. Like, if you injure yourself, you're not increasing your bench press anytime soon. So good form. I could give some tips real quick. So as far as gripping the bar, what I would say, a universal kind of tip for everybody is let your arms, like when you're laying on the bench, let your arms kind of like fall to the ground, and then bring them up, and wherever they naturally sit on the bar, that's where you should grip the bar. Some people say like you need your pinkies on the knurling, or like, you know, things like that, but everybody's hands are different. Everybody's anatomy is going to be different, so you can't really follow that rule. I would say just do what's natural to you, what feels good, and that closer kind of grip is going to help you build strength and build power. It's going to build your shoulders, your chest, your triceps. If you're doing like some super wide grip, low range of motion, you're not really building strength. You're manipulating like leverages and shorter range of motion. It's not really building you power. I think you need a little bit closer, a little bit more narrow, not narrow grip, but just shoulder width grip. Do what's natural to you, and that should be fine. That's kind of a universal tip. Another thing, leg drive. So you'll have your feet on the ground, right? Bring your feet back as far as you can. Bring your toes back as far as you can. Scoot them back to where your toes are behind your knees. And then once you're like as far back as you can go, bring your feet forward until your heels touch the ground. And that's kind of where you should be as far as leg drive. Try to keep your feet behind your knees. If they're out in front of you, you're not really putting out any force through your legs. If you're trying to push through your legs, have your feet behind your knees. It's kind of hard to explain, like just like this. If you guys want like an in-depth bench technique tutorial, I could do that, but that's kind of a basic tip. Feet behind the knees for leg drive, shoulder width grip on the bar, you know, just do that. Have a slight arch in your back, and you need to be pressing with your shoulders too. Just pin your like shoulders and traps to the bench. Just get really tight. Grip the bar as hard as you can. Make sure everything's tight. You know, you don't want to be loose. You want to be really tight. You want to be using every muscle that you can to bench press. Once you like utilize all the muscles that you can to bench, your bench press is going to go up. So yeah, form and technique needs to be on point, right? And as far as programming, personally, I do bench 3 times a week, and I'll alternate. I'll do a heavy bench session where I do higher sets, lower reps. So I'll do like a 10 by 3, for instance. So super high sets, low reps. That 3rd rep is failure, right? So I'm failing at 3 reps. That's what's building the strength for me. The next session, I'll do like a 3 by 12, 3 sets of 12 reps. So more kind of like hypertrophy based. And I do that kind of just to let my nervous system recover, because when you're benching heavy, it's not necessarily your muscles that are getting taxed, it's kind of your nervous system. Like if you're lifting heavy every session, you're not really gonna make progress. You're probably gonna plateau. Your body's not gonna have enough recovery time, because when you're benching like that, you're just taxing your whole body. Like there's just so much recovery that needs to take place if you're benching really heavy. So I like to alternate between a heavy bench session and a lighter, higher rep session. They're both intense, right? I'm not like, that lighter bench session isn't just for fun. Like I'm still pushing hard. It's just, it happens to be higher reps. So I would recommend alternating from a low rep day to a high rep day. Kind of give yourself some time to recover. Those high rep days, they're gonna get more blood in the muscle, get the nutrients that you need into the muscle. If you didn't watch my last video, I'd probably recommend it, like how to gain mass. It kind of goes hand in hand with bench press. You need to be on point with your diet. You need to be getting in the protein, you need to be getting in the nutrients, you need to be getting in the calories too. So if you want to increase your bench press, you need to be in a calorie surplus. Calorie surplus basically means you're consuming more calories than you're burning in a day. Say you burn 2,000 calories in a 24-hour period, well, you need to be getting in 2,500 calories. That's kind of like a broad example. Calorie calculators online, punch in your information, see how many calories you need in order to gain weight. I would recommend just getting in a surplus of 1,000 calories. Like just eat a lot of food. Eat a lot of good, you know, whole foods. You'll make progress. I don't count my calories. Like I'll do it for a video just to kind of show you guys, but I don't weigh my foods. I don't, you know, do all that kind of stuff. Just eat a lot of food and you'll make progress. Just eat more than you think you should. You'll gain some fat. It is what it is. The people with the best bench press in the world are super fat. That's how it is. You know, they're insanely strong, they're insanely muscular, but they're fat. And you don't necessarily have to be an obese person to have a good bench press. I would say no more than 20% body fat. If you're 20% body fat is kind of the limit, I'd say. That's like a good spot to be. Because if you're low body fat percentage, you're gonna be tired all the time. You're just not gonna have the energy you need. You're not gonna have the glycogen, the stored energy that you need to be able to press a lot of weight. So be in a calorie surplus, have good form, I would say follow a program, look for a good strength-based program. I would recommend power building personally. I don't think you should just do strength training unless you're training for competition. I would say you're gonna wanna build muscle and strength at the same time. So look into power building. I have some on my website in the description. So technique, alternate between low rep and high rep bench days, and get the calories in. If you do all those 3 things, your bench, it'll go up. I'd say the most important part, I mean, they're all the most important. You need all 3, but you need to be getting the calories in. Like, unless you're a genetic, you know, outlier, you know, there's some people that are 160 pounds body weight, pressing 405. Like, it's just, you can't rely on that. You're like, well, this person's doing it. Well, you're not that person. Like, these genetic freaks, they just have an advantage. They got lucky. You know, most of us aren't gonna be that lucky. So you just gotta put in the work, get the calories in, have good form, and just train hard. That's about it. That's all you really need to do to increase your bench press. At some point you'll plateau and you'll have to implement different techniques. So for me personally, I'm plateauing right now pretty hard. I'm sitting at 290, trying to get to 315. So what I'll do is, like I said, I'll alternate between a high rep and a low rep. And so I'll do 3 sessions a week, right? The first one I'll do a 10 by 3. The next one I'll do a 3 by 12. So higher reps, lower sets. And then the third day is more of a technique kind of day, where I'll do a 5x5. I'll set up the spotters on the side of the bench so I can do like a dead stop press. I'll lower the weight slow, accentuate the negative, so I'm going slow on the way down, very slow and controlled, and then I'll stop, pause on the spotter racks for like half a second to a second and press up as hard as I can. I'll do that for like 5 reps, 5 sets of 5 reps. So it's more of a like technique focused strength day, and that's kind of what I've been doing the past week. So I'm trying to break through this plateau. Hopefully that works out for me. Like I said, I'm trying to get 315 on bench press before October 4th, because I'll be 20 then. So I got about 20 days. Got about 20 days to do it. I know I can do it. I need to crack down. There's only one thing to do, and that's to just put in the work.